Hello and welcome to TB3 episode 95. I'm here. I'm Colby. I'm here with Joel.
What's
We're
up?
here to talk some Buccaneers, some Rays. Pretty tidy episode. Nothing crazy going on. Honestly, just a lot of bad news. To be honest, with both teams, the Rays are down bad. The Bucs are banged up. What will be the next moves for both of those teams? We're going to fill you in and talk to you guys about it on this episode. But before we get to that, I do want to just mention that if you're seeing this episode, it's coming out on Thursday. Be prepared because the first TB3 University of the season, a full USF Bulls season preview, will be coming out tomorrow on Friday. So be prepared, all my USF Bulls fans that are also Bucs and Rays fans. We got you covered. We are your number one podcast on YouTube to fill yourselves in on some Bulls football. We got all the rosters, all the storylines, all the predictions. That's coming for you tomorrow, because next week is our Boise State opener for the USF Bulls. USF, Boise State, Raymond James Stadium, 5:30 Thursday evening. It's going to be fun. But for right now, we're talking about the pro teams. Joel, how you feeling today?
There really is no good news. I mean, I'm kind of looking back this last week. I'm like, well, there's nothing.
I mean, not a disastrous West Coast trip. 500.
I mean, the Sunday game really just kind of sealed the deal for the essence of that trip.
Yeah, it's just like, we'll get into it when we get to the Rays, but the pitching is really just frustrated me. And then, I mean, just a all-time embarrassing game last night against the Yankees. I mean, that's something that you want wiped off the face of your records if you're the Tampa Bay Rays.
I mean, yeah, there's no good storylines in that game.
No, it's embarrassing. I mean, it is what it is. But we're gonna go to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers because the Buccaneers played a preseason game last week, and guess what? The Tampa Bay Buccaneers have still not lost a football game in the preseason for the 2025-2026 season, as they would beat the Pittsburgh Steelers 17-14 in their first road game of their 50th season. And I think before we get into the game, I think we have to talk about kind of the monkey on our backs on this episode for the Buccaneers, and that is injuries. A whole lot of injuries have been popping up for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Let's first talk about in the game. Jalen McMillan, very, very scary situation. Scary hit, ball thrown down the middle. Jalen McMillan jumps up to catch the ball, kind of gets flipped and undercut by a Pittsburgh Steelers defender. To me, I think that was an unnecessary hit. I'm not going to call it dirty, but I will say it was a little bit unnecessary and unwarranted, but that's football sometimes. Jalen McMillan, he would get spun and actually fall on his head and neck, leave the game, would not return. We find out later that, praise God, he's fully, all of his extremities are moving. He's not paralyzed, something like that, because that truly could have been a life-altering injury. Praise God, it was not. But we do find out that he has a severely strained neck. I'm talking about Jalen McMillan, and he will likely be out past the team's Week 9 bye week, meaning about half or a little bit more than half the season the Bucs will have to play with Jalen McMillan. Let's start with him, Joel. How does that impact this Buccaneers offense?
I mean, you see the depth already taking a hit. You hate seeing something like that in preseason. We know that we're trying to get them up to regular season game, full game kind of levels, so you got to play hard. We understand that, but yeah, that's a scary hit. As far as how it's going to be for us, I mean, we see Godwin's out, Evans again, another year older, so all of that's pretty scary. But the running game's still pretty good, so we can still kind of split the ball evenly between the run and the throw. So it's not great, but you see another injury on a receiver, and that's where I'll start to get a little scared. And again, we've seen Evans go down with some stuff in the past, so definitely not a good trajectory to have before even getting into the first regular season game.
Yeah, I completely agree. I do think if there's a position group for the Buccaneers to take an injury, wide receiver is about the best one too. The depth is very, very impressive in that position group. Like Joel said, you still have the alpha dog Mike Evans. We did see him go down last year, but you don't get a 1,000-yard streak like Mike Evans has without kind of a pretty good sustainability of health. So I feel pretty okay that Mike Evans will be able to stay upright. Knock on wood. Find whatever is kind of like wood and knock on it.
Particle ward. Particle ward.
Anyways. But obviously, we know that Chris Godwin had a pretty devastating ankle injury. It is looking like he will at least miss the first couple games of the season. We don't really know exactly how long Godwin will be out to start the season, but we know that it's very likely he will not be starting Week 1 against the Falcons. Obviously, now Jalen McMillan is out. So that does... the first guy you think of is rookie receiver Emeka Egbuka. He caught his first career touchdown against the Steelers in the preseason game on Saturday. He is the 19th overall pick. All the reviews and the talk about him from training camp to the preseason to the mini camps, whatever it's been, Emeka Egbuka has been the center of attention for the Buccaneers this offseason in this training camp. They have really have had raving reviews about Emeka Egbuka, but now he's going to have to step in and be the wide receiver 2 in his first ever game as a professional regular season. So it's definitely a lot more weight on his shoulders about Jalen McMillan, but we've seen Emeka Egbuka be a high-producing player at Ohio State, and I know college is different than the NFL, but Ohio State is about the biggest stage you can get on as a college player. He played in the college football playoff and in the national championship and helped Ohio State win last year. So again, this pressure and this weight on Egbuka's shoulders, I think won't be something that should faze him too much, and I think the combination of the scheme, still having Mike Evans, still having Baker Mayfield, who is a experienced quarterback, like you said, a strong running game. I think that's going to help Emeka Egbuka kind of step in that role at wide receiver 2. So now the question is, we will likely get Godwin back some point along the first half of the season.
Yeah, somewhere in the first half.
Somewhere in the first half, I would predict it to be somewhere in between game 2 and 6. Let's say something like that. That's just me kind of going off vibes. I have no information, no resources.
They're hiding it very well too right now. So it's with that, it does kind of smell suspicious. But again, we're being optimistic and hopeful for sure.
So Joel, we know that Mike Evans will be wide receiver 1 to start. We know Egbuka will be wide receiver 2. Who are you looking at, Joel, as a guy that might be able to step in for the Jalen McMillan role or the Chris Godwin role?
Maybe like a Sterling Shepard.
I completely agree with you. I really think that Sterling Shepard is going to be able to have a big part in this Buccaneers offense. I really enjoy what I saw from Sterling Shepard in 2024. I think he played some big time, snaps for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I mean, you have to think about it. There was times where we didn't have Mike Evans, didn't have Chris Godwin. We obviously didn't have Emeka Egbuka last year. So Sterling Shepard had to play major, snaps. I think of the games against, the Falcons, the 49ers, the Chiefs. Sterling Shepard had to be a very big focal point of the offense. Right now, he would only have to be wide receiver 3, and I think the connection Sterling Shepard has with Baker Mayfield, from their college days, the ability for Shepard to be in the slot, work the middle of the field. I think he's going to be a great candidate to take over Jalen McMillan's spot while he's injured. I also think another good option is a guy that you talked about, I think last week, is Ryan Miller. I think
I was going to say him, but I was going to ask Sterling Shepard's probably the correct answer.
But Ryan Miller, he's a guy that Todd Bowles went out today and praised about his effort and his level of play throughout this preseason and training camp for the Buccaneers. He was the leading receiver for the Buccaneers in their first preseason game against the Titans. I think Ryan Miller has a shot to be a really big key of this offense. And I think Sterling Shepard and Ryan Miller will kind of both have roles too. They will platoon, if you will, for Jalen McMillan in that spot. Another person to kind of look out for is rookie Tez Johnson. He made his season debut against the Steelers. He didn't play against the Titans, but he played against the Steelers, and he had a lot of ups and downs. He finished the game with 4 catches for 24 yards. And Joel, we like to talk about the special teams on the podcast.
Yes.
So we want to talk about Tez Johnson with a 37-yard punt return. And almost taking it to the crib, one cut away from taking it to the house. Tez Johnson, looking to be that explosive returner that the Bucs have been lacking pretty much their entire, existence.
50 years, baby.
But you did see him have that high, but you also saw Tez Johnson muff a punt later on in the game in the second half. You saw some drops from Tez Johnson. He is a rookie. He is learning the ropes in the NFL, so I don't think he is a guy that we can immediately look to take over Jalen McMillan's production. We even saw Jalen McMillan struggle at the beginning of last season. It's hard to be a rookie. That's why I'm a little bit concerned about Emeka Egbuka having such a high role to start the season, but sometimes talent just beats experience. I mean, Emeka Egbuka is a true one-of-a-kind talent. Yeah,
and I think too, there's no sense in putting him on the shelf. Like, he's used to being a number 1, number 2 kind of guy, so if he's got the opportunity to slot right into something like that, there's some value in kind of having him learn, or just some of the older guys, some of the more established guys. But if he can kind of learn and see some of those things for himself, I think that'll pay dividends in the his career trajectory.
Yeah, I think a normal rookie wouldn't be able to kind of shoulder the load that Emeka Egbuka is going to have to shoulder, but I don't think Emeka Egbuka is a normal rookie.
Agreed.
Yeah. So I guess that's kind of our wide receiver talk. We can move to the secondary, which is another position that has been kind of hammered with injuries. Let's start off with the known bad news. First one would be Christian Eisen, one of the favorite players of this podcast. I know Will's not here today to talk about him, but Will loves some Christian Eisen. I love some Christian Eisen. Joel loves some Christian Eisen. Christian Eisen is kind of the utility, another Rays mention guy of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers secondary. He's played some safety. He's played some nickel. He's played some outside corner, I even think, with the Buccaneers. He's an undrafted free agent going into his third year. And Christian Eisen sustained an oblique injury on Saturday against the Steelers. Todd Bowles said that it is likely he will miss the season opener against the Falcons, and his injury will maybe extend into the season. So that's a couple weeks without some depth in your secondary, which also hurts because another undrafted rookie, this time an undrafted rookie from the 2025 class, J.J. Roberts, a guy who has been turning heads in Buccaneers training camp, has, I think it was a knee injury. He's out for the season. He's on the IR. J.J. Roberts, a guy who could have been a depth piece for the Buccaneers, is also out. So that's 2 depth pieces down in the secondary this week for the Buccaneers that will miss some time. In Roberts' case, he'll miss the entire season. That kind of turns the eyes in terms of depth safety-wise to a guy like Shiloh Sanders, who might have a better chance of making the team now. And it also turns to your starters and your stars, which brings us to another guy who has had some injury concerns and news in the last week, and that is Antoine Winfield Jr. Last week, Antoine Winfield Jr. got a sore hamstring, and he had to miss practice. He did not play in Saturday's preseason game. But this week, Antoine Winfield actually returned to practice, and he's been practicing, so that is a very good sign. Hopefully that means Antoine Winfield will be ready for week 1. A lot of stuff going on in the secondary. I think Tyke Smith's been a little bit banged up. Jamel Dean, again, it's Jamel Dean. He's been a little bit banged up. But secondary is not exactly as rich of a position for the Buccaneers as receiver is. Joel, are you, on a level 1 to 10, how concerned are you about the injuries bleeding into the season for the Bucs secondary?
I probably would go 8 because you think and see as you have some weaker, unestablished guys in your defense, in your secondary. Some of the other guys have to overcompensate for stuff like that, and that's where you see those kind of players get injured more because you can double team some of your more veteran guys. So the concern is definitely higher. I'd probably go 8.
I agree. I'd be around a 7 or 8, I would say. I just worry about the depth. Christian Eisen is about the most valuable depth piece you can have just with his versatility. And then J.J. Roberts was another. Again, J.J. Roberts at the safety position was going to be, probably going to make the team and be an important, backup for the Buccaneers because of how thin they are at safety. I mean, you think about, you have Antoine Winfield and you have Tyke Smith. Those are your established starters. Then after that, it gets really, really thin. You have Kayvon Merriweather. You have now Shiloh Sanders. And it just really, really gets thin. Christian Eisen's a guy who also played some safety last year, who was also going to be an option at backup safety. Now he is hurt. So the depth is definitely going to get tested. Cornerback, we were definitely very excited to have the depth behind a Jamel Dean with a guy like Benjamin Morrison and Jacob Perez and Christian Eisen and guys like that. And Bryce Hall and, guys like Morrison and Eisen and Bryce Hall have all been banged up. So the depth has really been tested for the Buccaneers. Bryce Hall, I think, was back at practice. Benjamin Morrison has still not practiced in a couple weeks with that hamstring injury. And the depth is just concerning me. Again, they have a little bit more leeway in the secondary this year than they did last year, but not a lot more. So the depth is definitely concerning me, and I worry that we're kind of faltering depth-wise in the secondary this early on in the season.
Yeah, it'd be a shame to kind of get into the regular season start and be as weak on depth as we have been in the past. It's like, whoa, that was a good preseason.
And not only a shame to start the regular season shorthanded, just in general, but I mean, week 1 is at the Falcons. That is a very, very crucial game. We know how the Falcons games went for us last year. And yeah, it's an important game to start off. The Bucs have been pretty good in season openers, but yeah, you don't want to start off weak in that game. And that's kind of why I moved to Antoine Winfield. I think you kind of got to look at Antoine Winfield, and he has to look himself in the mirror. And I would go as to say that the health of Antoine Winfield is one of, if not the biggest storylines for this Tampa Bay Buccaneers team in 2025. We know how good Antoine Winfield can be when healthy, and we saw it in 2023 where he was, in my opinion, the best safety in the NFL. And if Antoine Winfield is not able to stay healthy, again, we saw how it affected the defense in 2024. We saw even Antoine Winfield when he was not playing to the highest of his capabilities because he was playing through injury, affected the Bucs defense. They paid him to be the best player or one of the best players on their defense and in the league. We need Antoine Winfield. He is a valuable piece, and I would say if he's ready to go, I don't have a worry about the Bucs secondary. But if he is not ready to go and the depth is already a concern, I have some major concerns, especially in that week 1 game against Atlanta.
Yeah, because safety, I mean, that's crucial. You can take advantage of a team if they don't have a good safety. And we're our number 3 safety to start the regular season.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll be getting torched.
Yeah, unless Shiloh Sanders turns into his daddy. Who knows? Who knows?
Apple doesn't fall far from the tree.
So other than that, I mean, some other notes that I just had pulled up, or I thought I did. Rashad White was back at practice. Trey Palmer was back at practice. Tyke Smith was banged up on the sideline. Jamel Dean was banged up. So some injury, updates, concerns, whatever. But yeah, so that's kind of to fill you guys in. Hopefully we can get as healthy as we possibly can for the for week 1 against Atlanta. Quickly, or not quickly, however quick we want to go. Bucs Steelers. Any initial or big takeaways from this game, Joel?
Kyle Trask didn't look as good. It would appear that the other guy, I should know his name.
Bridgewater.
Yeah, Bridgewater would probably be the number 2. If I had to guess today, that would make sense. I mean, you're not bringing that guy in for nothing. You're not bringing that guy in with the intention of making him the number 3. So I think that quarterback battle was probably answered against the Steelers, and more interceptions, right? I think there was a couple.
I think we got three interceptions for the Bucs.
So the interceptions keep coming.
6 interceptions in 2 games for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
So yeah, keep that going. Let's make it a perfect 9 for the preseason. Yeah.
I think we had 7 interceptions the entire regular season last year and 6 in the first 2 preseason games. Maybe it means nothing.
I mean, or worst case scenario, it's sorry, we got all our interceptions in the preseason.
Oh boy. But yeah, I do agree. Teddy Bridgewater looked far better than Kyle Trask. But I still would say I think that quarterback battle is still ongoing. There's been some reports saying that they're kind of duking it out. I'm assuming we'll see both of them in this preseason game coming up. I doubt we'll see Baker or many of the starters for that matter. But yeah, it'll be fascinating to see. Kyle Trask, his professional career,
It's been an enigma.
The ups and downs, it's an enigma. It makes really no sense to me. He just looked so calm and cool and confident against the Titans, and he just looked timid out there against the Steelers. I just don't understand it.
Yeah, it's definitely a bipolar kind of thing. He might have not talked himself up right or something. I'd love to see him go up against with number 1 receivers, number 1 O-line. but I don't think I'm ever going to get my wish. So
No.
life is life.
I'm almost off the Kyle Trask train. Like it's hard to be a Kyle
But
Trask
it's such
supporter.
a shame because I mean those were some good Gator days.
Oh man, they were some glory days. One of the most fun offenses I've ever seen. Him and Kadarius Toney and Kyle Pitts. Ah, what a team!
Like I mean those rivaled the Jameis Winston days
Yeah.
in my Florida college football heart. So
It is in his
I mean-
bandwagon in Florida college football heart.
whatever.
Hey, it's
I mean,
what it is.
in the good old days of Florida college football, those are two of the highlights for my young life.
The only thing is Jameis Winston had a defense. Kyle Trask had no defense whatsoever.
There you go. The what ifs of life.
The what ifs. Yeah, I think it was good. Very fascinating to see. You know, Bucky Irving was back.
Yeah.
Kind of not a great game. Not really his fault. Offensive line got mauled on Saturday. Did not look good. Charlie Heck had a really, really tough drive. That's something to watch, obviously, with him likely going to take Tristan Wirf's spot. Definitely was not encouraged by his play against the Steelers on Saturday. Bucky Irving only rushed for, I just had it pulled up and I took away. Come on, Colby. This is unprofessional. He rushed for 8 carries for 12 yards, so not very good. But the fascinating part about Saturday for me was Bucky Irving caught a receiving touchdown, a 15-yard receiving touchdown. And the most fascinating part about it for me was that boy lined up as an outside receiver, as a running back, and just ran a go route. And, I think we've seen a lot of reports talking about Bucky Irving's improved capacity as a receiver, and we saw it fully in motion. They didn't just line him up outside for that touchdown. They did it on multiple plays, and I was pretty exciting. I mean, we know how explosive Bucky Irving is. On that play, he scored a touchdown. He's matched up with a linebacker. That's the type of thing that you create mismatches and you create big plays. That's pretty exciting for me. Love that Josh Grizzard's doing that with Bucky Irving. I really love to see that. We already mentioned Emeka Egbuka caught his first touchdown. That was kind of like, my biggest takeaways. I mean, I think that, at least offensively, I thought the defense looked really, really good.
I mean, on the field, it's been a pleasure to watch. It's like keep that going for another 20 weeks, and you can raise a Super Bowl trophy.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it was good to see, Hassan Reddick, Yaya Diaby, Vita Vea, all those guys out there. Jacob Parrish, I think I talked about him last week. I'm going to talk about him again. 3 tackles, 1 tackle for loss, and a pass breakup. He's going to be a starting nickel corner, and I love Jacob Parrish. That boy is a dog. And yeah, it's very, very impressive to see Jacob Parrish. He seems to always be around the football as a rookie. I think he's going to be valuable. I think he's going to cause turnovers from the get-go in that nickel position, and I think he's going to be a valuable piece of this Bucs defense.
Agreed.
Anyone else that I want to talk about? We talked about Tez Johnson. Chris Braswell got a sack. That was fun to see. Just trying to jog my brain. Like we said, 3 interceptions. Oh, one of those interceptions was by our starting corner. It was Zion McCollum. Off Mason Rudolph. We didn't see Aaron Rodgers on Saturday, but we did see Mason Rudolph. And Zion McCollum picked him off on, I think it was the first or second offensive possession for the Steelers. So some ones or immediate backups in the game for the Steelers. Zion McCollum beautifully jumps the pass. Love to see that. Like we mentioned, 3 turnovers. Bucs fumbled twice, though, in this game, which is just like, I hate that. I think one of them was Payne
Let's do a little bit of
Durham.
that less.
Yeah, let's hold on to the football.
Because that was a big issue last year, if I remember correctly. No, I mean not huge, but I mean there was a couple unfortunate.
The Cowboys game where Rashad White got it ripped from his hands.
So yeah, it's like let's not start that yet.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. But yeah, I don't really have much. I think another just positive, like Joel said, on the field, everything's been mostly positive for the Buccaneers.
Yeah. I'll give a shout out to Jason Light. I mean, this Emeka Egbuka first round pick's looking better and better by the week with Godwin going out and now this other injury to a receiver. So hats off to you, man.
It was like prophetic almost. Like I
mean, I think he knew about the Godwin issues, which is why he went for it. But now this one too, it's like, all right, you're the smartest man in the room. We get it.
Yeah, seriously, that's why I trust Jason Light. When in doubt, trust Jason Light. Yeah. So Bucs will play Saturday at 7:30. ESPN Unlimited. I don't know what we're doing with that. I don't know what that's all about. But yeah, they're going to play at home, Raymond James Stadium, against the Buffalo Bills. I'm pretty sure that we won't see Bucs starters. I'm not exactly sure. Let me look. Did the Bills play their starters last week? They lost 38-0 against the Bears. What are we doing, Buffalo? No Josh Allen. So I'm assuming the Bills will play Josh Allen on Saturday. So you'll get to see that. That'll be interesting. That'll be fascinating. A team that we will see in the regular season. Maybe we're going to scout them out so we can beat them in the regular season. Who knows? Good. Who knows? But yeah, Saturday, 7:30.
And you say that's at Buffalo?
Nope. In Raymond James. Okay. In Raymond James. I think our game in the regular season's at Buffalo, though.
Oh, it's the Buffalo Stadium Farewell Tour.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe we'll just have to make a road trip.
I know, I was about to say. I mean, hey.
Dude, you should correlate visiting your sister with that.
It's not a bad idea.
You should really do that.
What do you think?
You should think about doing that. Anyways, yeah, so 7:30. I don't expect to see many starters. I could be wrong, but I think last week was our time to see the starters, and I think Todd Bowles kind of alluded to that. So, again, I think the biggest storyline going into this game is Teddy Bridgewater versus Kyle Trask. Who's going to have the better third game? Who's going to make themselves apparent to be that quarterback 2? I think both of them will be on the roster by the time the season starts, but it'll be interesting to see that. Yeah. Again, safeties, I'll be watching the safety position, especially with J.J. Roberts down, just to see who's stepping up, who's playing in that role currently. Again, really looking like Shiloh Sanders might have an avenue to make the team, which will be pretty cool. Like, I enjoy the story of Shiloh Sanders. So, yeah, I don't know. That's kind of what I'm looking for. Anything else, Joel?
No, I think we're good to go.
All right, so I don't really want to talk about them much, but the Rays, they played baseball, I guess. Okay, so I do have an update. Apparently, the Yankees pitcher was throwing a perfect game up until the 7th inning. We just broke it up.
What's the score?
2-0 Yanks.
Yeah, of course. I think this was probably the most important series we had left. So
yeah, we really needed
put a nail in it.
We really needed a little, because it's a 2-gamer. We needed the 2-game sweep the Yankees because they're in the last wild card spot. Not looking like that's going to happen. Chandler Simpson broke up the perfect game, so you got to shout out Chandler Simpson. But very, very the Rays. Guess we can rewind back to the West Coast trip. A couple exciting games on Friday and Saturday. So some comeback wins for the Rays, but then, like Joel mentioned, a little bit of an implosion on Sunday. And for me, I think the story of the last couple weeks for the Rays is kind of the non-improvement of their young Rays starters in this season. Like, I look back at the 2025 season and I think, man, guys like Ryan Pepio, Shane Boggs, I know we don't have them, but Taj Bradley, even Joe Boyle seems to have been going backwards the last couple weeks. Like, the young starters for the Rays, I kind of expected at least a couple of those guys to kind of take a jump forward, or at least a step forward, and none of them really have. Pepio was having a really nice season for a while, but he seems to have really, really gone off the rails.
He just hits that inning every game. It's like hits the inning.
It's the 6th inning. Okay, yeah, but if you talk, I'm gonna find his 6th inning stats.
I mean, like, and that's something that's tough because, like, for Kevin Cash, he really should pull him before he gets to that spot, and it's probably like the 3rd time he goes to the orders where that's happening. And in the past, Kevin Cash has been pretty quick to pull guys like that. Like, I think he was doing it a lot with like Jeffrey Springs and guys in that era of the team. But of late, he hasn't been doing that. And maybe that's because he's trying to be more of a baseball mind instead of just going by the statistics. But, I mean, I get that I'm a bipolar Rays fan here, but sometimes you got to rely on the statistics, man. So.
Why is Brian Pepio not getting the Blake Snell treatment?
Was it Blake
Snell? It feels like it was. Yeah, was 5th inning and out.
But yeah, you never see the lineup the 3rd time through. Yeah. Blake Snell, yeah, that was the big one that we did it on.
Yeah, and I'm looking at his splits by inning. 1st inning ERA 3.46, 2nd inning 5.26, 3rd inning 2.88, 4th inning 2.16, 5th inning 3.09, 6th inning 7.11 ERA, 7th inning 9.00 ERA. It's the same problem. Like Joel mentioned, he's hitting a wall. It's crazy.
But at some point you have to get past that wall. So I understand why they're keeping him in, but you can do that in April. You can't do that in September.
And it's frustrating because Pepio has all the tools, and he's shown all the things. Like, even if you look at Sunday's game, he was dominating through 5 innings. Yes, dominating through these innings, and he actually had 2 outs in the 6th inning. It was 2 outs and nobody on, and he gave up 4 runs.
And I think it was a walk to start the whole mess to begin with.
and it's just the control and the inconsistency. He's the one where it's just frustrating the most because you see it. You're almost there. Like, oh, this is Ryan Pepio. He's going to step in. He's going to be he's going to be a top 3 starter on a good team. We like to see it. And he just can't get over that hump. He's the one I have the most faith in. And then you get to Shane Boz. I mean, Shane Boz is just looking abysmal. It is crazy just to look at Shane Boz and look at just like you talk about the start he had. Like, we talked about, he's throwing 100 for the first time. He's his curveball looks amazing. And he had such a strong start. And then, I mean, good Lord. Last game, 3 innings, 6 earned runs. Game before that, 7 innings, 4 earned runs. 4 innings, 4 earned runs. 5 innings, 5 earned runs. 5 innings, 2 earned runs.
Yeah, I'll be curious to see.
4 innings, 8 earned runs.
I'll be curious to see what he looks like next time out.
But it just feels like he can't shake it.
Like I'm not only that, but like this Yankees game, giving 5 home runs in 3 innings, that could scar him for the rest of his career. It
could be demoralizing. It's just like I look at the Rays rotation, and there was a time where I was feeling really good about it, but I just have a lot of questions as to what the Rays rotation is going to be about next year. We know we have Rasmussen, and you feel good about Pep, and then there's 3 spots where you don't know what's going on.
Maybe Shane McClanahan.
Maybe Shane McClanahan, but that's not that's
fingers crossed.
That's fingers crossed, toes crossed, praying. Yeah, and then you look at Hauser was a rental; he'll probably be gone. And then Boyle, you want to hope for Boyle, but it's just like and it's just that's something I almost wanted to see the Rays.
Maybe we bring in like a Zach Eflin type character, but
it's possible. That would be a nice move for the new ownership for sure. But it's I think there's some rumors about maybe Griffin Jacks moving to a starter role instead of the bullpen. Maybe could be an option. He has good stuff, but it's just it's pretty fascinating. It's pretty frustrating. Again, I feel like the Rays young starters haven't made much of any steps forward in the entire 25 season.
And that's very unusual for a Rays stadium. Like going to a Rays season, regardless of if you're going to the playoffs or not, there's usually some good storylines coming out of the end of the season. Like, oh, that guy stepped up. Oh, look, can't wait to see that guy next year. But this year, it's like, oh man, like he fell off a cliff.
Yeah, we haven't seen the Blake Snell, Tyler Glasnow, Shane McClanahan, step forward and production out of guys like Pepio and Boz.
Yeah, I'm not excited for these pitchers next year.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, man, they're still under contract.
Yeah, like I said, Pepio I still have a lot of faith in. I think if he can just get past that threshold, I think he's going to be a good. And maybe
they work on that in spring training. Like let him once his arms warmed up, all right, you're going. You're going 7 innings.
Or they just decide he's not passing that, and he becomes a Blake Snell 5 innings and get him out of there.
I don't know if we have the bullpen for that kind of stuff though.
Well, hopefully the bullpen will be different and reworked next year. But again, the pitching has a lot more question marks than it has in past right now. And then you flip over to the offense.
It's the Brandon Lau and what was it? Brandon Lau, Junior Cameron. I was going to say not Hamilton. What's the
Chandler Simpson?
Chandler Simpson a little bit.
He's been really good. Chandler Simpson's been fun to watch.
So that's the trio, and maybe you get something else.
Yandy, he had some big hits. Yandy Diaz did. It's the offense has definitely gotten quiet. Been very inconsistent. The bottom of the lineup just isn't as strong as it once was. Partly due to the injury. I mean, losing Jonathan Aranda definitely hurts the length of the lineup.
That was the end of the season at this point.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's crazy to say this, but you lose Taylor Walls to injury, and you kind of miss him at the bottom of your order.
There's so many players where it's like, who is this guy?
Yeah, you see like Tristan Gray's out there. Bob Seymour.
There's a guy right now who has 2 names on the back of his jersey. I think it's like Ha something.
Ha-Seong Kim?
Maybe. I thought it was somebody else. Maybe.
Maybe.
There's somebody where there's 2 names on the back of his jersey, and I feel like I hadn't recognized him. It might be Ha-Seong Kim.
Yeah, Ha-Seong Kim's been really bad. That's turned out to be a dud of a signing. Yeah. We talked about Josh Lowe last week. Just definitely not been impressive. I would say those 2 guys, if they were playing to the capability that we thought they could play to, this would be a different looking Rays lineup, but they have not been. Josh Lowe's a guy I think we should look to trade in the offseason.
Is there value? Like I guess
That's
you get what you can with them and kind of move on.
That's fair. I don't know. This is a low value point for Josh Lowe, which is totally fair. Yeah, I mean, just bottom order has not been as good. Catching position, really a lot worse than it used to be. Like, I mean, Danny Jansen and Matt Theis, I think, were much more productive than Fiducia and Nick Fortes have been.
Oh, for sure.
Which is just unfortunate. You just miss when you had a catcher who was a threat. I haven't really heard about Danny Jansen doing much since he's been to Milwaukee. But yeah, it's just not what it once was back in the good old days of May and June. And the Rays season slowly coming to a decline.
It wasn't Ha-Seong Kim. I don't know who it was.
I don't know. Slowly coming to a decline. Slowly winding down. Definitely some good to take from the season. The main good is Junior Caminero, 35 home runs.
Yeah, I mean, that's why we're still going to be watching. It's like, let's see how many home runs he can get up to.
And the only Rays player to ever get 40 is Carlos Pena. And Junior Caminero is about to get that in his first full season in the big leagues.
Yeah. What's he at right now? Like, did you say
35?
35?
Yeah. I mean, he should get 40. It's like there was he hasn't hit one in a couple games. It's like there's like a dark voice in your head saying he's going to get 50. He's going to get 50, which
I know. I was going to say he might get like 47 because I think that's what Carlos Pena had.
Yeah, I think it was 47. Yeah, that'll be tough. I see him I'm going to say he ends with 45.
Yeah, I think that's a good
45.
Good assumption.
43 to 45 will be mine. But
Carlos Pena had 46 in 2007. That was the year.
Yeah, he could. 47 is doable.
I mean, and when he gets them in bunches. So.
Yeah, he had 7 home runs in that West Coast trip.
Yeah,
it's crazy. Right? I mean, you look at the Rays record on the West Coast. I think it's 11-7 on the West Coast this year.
Yeah, they went 500 this trip, and they must have had 4 above the last one.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
I mean, that's better than we've done in most years.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, it's very, very interesting. I don't have much.
I mean,
else.
the West Coast trip was all right. That last Sunday game kind of took the air out of the balloon, and then yesterday, giving the Yankees a record for most home runs in a single game. I mean,
sickening.
Just
sickening.
Crazy.
It is so just atrocious. It's an like it's just.
It was kind of fun to watch, actually.
It's just Jose Caballero hit 2 home runs in his first game against the Rays. Oh, that's.
I mean, like I don't know my Rays players well these days, but he was a Ray, right?
Yeah, he just got traded at the deadline.
Wow, I thought that was weird. Yeah. Because I was like, isn't that our guy?
Yeah, that was like a low for the season. Just like the whole like idea of like it's their spring training place, you know.
It was a good storyline for the Yankees. Just,
I hate it. Like, and it's just like they've been playing bad, and now they're like, oh, we broke out of the slump.
I didn't listen to the Yankee broadcast, but I'm sure they were like, "See, Rays, that's how you hit home runs in this stadium."
I don't know.
I bet you, knowing the Yankees broadcasters, I know something like that came out of their mouths.
I wouldn't put it past them. Those guys are definitely something.
The judge is in the court or whatever.
All rise.
All rise. Yeah.
All rise. Yeah. So we'll be watching Junior Caminero, and that's the only Ray because football is around the corner. Joey, got anything else?
Is there any other player like on the Rays you're kind of watching, like aside from Junior? Is there like a rookie that like we're kind of
I like Chandler Simpson.
Fingers crossed or whatever.
I like Chandler Simpson a lot. I saw Chandler Simpson right now is the only left-handed batter in the MLB with a 300-plus batting average and 30 stolen bases. That's good. It's something. Love Chandler Simpson. Watching see Brandon Lau. I'd love to see him get 30 home runs. I'm going to be curious, and this will definitely be a poster/discussion of is this Brandon Lau's best season? I think if he gets 30, I think I'm going to say it is.
I would say
his average is so much higher than it was in 2021. And he's had a much more complete season. I think his defense has been better this year. I don't know if the metrics back that up, but I do think that this is possibly Brandon Lau's best season. So I'll be watching that. I still very, very interested to see Joe Boyle is a guy that intrigues me throughout the stretch run of the season. Like just seeing if Joe Boyle can put together 3 good starts in a row and kind of get that excitement about him for next season back. And then those young pitchers, they have a month and a half to prove that they have improved. So,
I mean, I was trying to see if Fairbanks has improved much, but even it's like I was hoping to see maybe he finishes the year out well. He's had a pretty good August, but his July wasn't good. So maybe he has a good September, and we can kind of put our hope back into him as a player. But it was a dud of a season
for sure. It was a dud for the bullpen. I think
I can't wait to come back in October and be like, remember when I said that?
It was. Yeah, wow. So you still have a little bit of a...
I don't know.
You just have a little bit. Hey, nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with believing, Joel.
That's a good entertainment. It's like, I can't give up on it yet. That's what I'm watching from 7 to 9:30.
Yeah, which is good. It was... The last West Coast trip was exhausting. I missed Rays at 7 o'clock.
Oh, it was tough. That was a week too long. It was like, bro, my baseball body that's a week too long. My baseball body is like, all right, West Coast trips, you got 10 days, not 17 days.
You got baseball jet lag.
Yeah, it did. Like, I can't imagine what the players were going through.
Yeah, seriously. I can't imagine what the players have gone through this entire season. Just crazy.
That's the other thing about that game on Monday. It's like the rain delay too. It was like, man, this is a bad showing for Tampa.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, I'm watching those guys. But again, football is around the corner. We got one more Bucs preseason game. Then we're full into Bucs season preview and then Bucs season. And again, I'm gonna say it again. I said at the beginning, but tomorrow you're getting a USF episode, season preview and predictions, talking about it, filling you guys in, what you guys need to know, because college football is just around the corner. TB3 University will be hot on the streets. Excited to watch some college football. Excited to dive into USF Bulls football in 2024 and 2025. I guess it's just 2025. I don't know if I said 2024. We'll be in the press box for Boise State, so that'll be pretty exciting. Yeah, very, very excited to watch and just cover USF. So yeah, be on the lookout for that. But in the meantime, Bucs football is around the corner. Rays, maybe we still believe, Joel. Hey,
give me another 10 days.
Hey, you said September 10th. That hasn't come yet.
20 days.
Yeah,
give me another 20 days.
Yeah. So yeah, that's it. Just be positive. Maybe your positive energy and vibes can go to the Rays and Bucs.
Rays fans did pretty good. They all stuck around for that game the other night. So Rays fans are still there. I mean, let's do it. Let's do it, Rays. Come on.
Proud of you guys. So yeah, if you guys are on YouTube, hit the subscribe button. Comment down below your thoughts on the Buccaneers injuries, your thoughts on the Rays, your thoughts on the Bulls. If you want to give us a little early comment, whatever you guys are thinking. On Spotify, hit the 5 stars, hit the follow button. Follow us on Instagram at TB3 Sports Talk. Follow us on X at TB3 Sports Talk. And yeah, I hope you guys have a beautiful and blessed night.